Alright then.
So that's you.
I'm Monomi, and my heart's throbbing like crazy. Wait, what? I'm Monomi, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now.
To think that the person who killed the wonderful Mahiru Koizumi is in this room.
With the mushrooms.
Impossible! Impossible! That's so impossible! There's no way I can believe
I
that!
hate that stupid diaper.
I can't do anything!
I know, right?
How annoying! But I'm just gonna believe in everyone. That's the least I can do. Everyone do your best. Don't lose to yourselves. And don't forget to save regularly.
Well, now that we've decided to believe Hyoko, now what?
If the killer was luring Hyoko into a trap, then something that was used there might be a clue.
Do you mean the letter?
No, it was probably the gummy.
Huh? Candy can be a clue?
Hey, when you woke up, was the gummy already there?
Now that you mention it, I feel like it wasn't.
Just as I thought.
Just as you thought?
If the killer planted evidence while Hyoko was there, she would have thrown it away if she found it.
Which means the gummy was placed inside the closet after Hyoko fled from the beach house?
The killer returned to the scene of the crime after I left?
They wouldn't have to do something that troublesome as long as they hid somewhere within the beach house.
That's impossible! There's nowhere to hide! I even glanced inside the shower room as I was running away, but there was nobody there!
Then, does that mean the killer came back?
I wonder. At any rate, the solution to that problem is connected to what really happened. That's what I think.
I want to play a new game. Is that what you're thinking? If so, we prepared the perfect product for you. You will dive into your own brain and logically discern the mysterious answers from several questions. It's called the Logic Dive. During the Logic Dive, you will control a version of yourself created from an image within your brain. Your task is to reach the goal and the final destination of the Synapse course. You can move sideways with the left stick and accelerate with the R1. You press the O to brake, or circle to brake, and L1 to jump. L1 of all buttons to jump. There will be various obstacles you will encounter as you progress through the course. So make sure you're familiar with these controls so you can reach your goal. On your journey, you will take damage every time you fall into a gap or bump into a wall. Also, upon reaching a certain point, there will be branching questions in your course. The answers split into different paths, so please correct the path. Please proceed down the path of the answer you think is correct. Branching questions will appear several times in one course. Please be careful. I highly recommend that you make good use of the brake. That's my meddlesome advice to you. Is that the circle button? Is the brake? Use the option button during the Logic Dive. You can review the controls. Well then, good luck. Well, I'll just do it right now. She's right. This might be a very important problem. If the killer tampered with the evidence after Hyoko ran away from the beach house, when did the killer arrive and depart from the beach house? Think. If I just focus and think about it, I'm sure I'll be able to find the answer. Alright, I'm going to do it.
I think they did this. The game is fun, but they did it better in 3. They fixed it.
Oh, yeah, that's circle. Hey. How do you accelerate? R1. When did the killer arrive at the beach house? After, before, right? There you go.
They go, Jay.
What?
I don't know.
Question 2. When did the killer leave the beach house? After Hyoko left? Before Hyoko left?
You sure?
I think. Because he had to
Before.
he planted the evidence. After Hyoko left.
I guess so.
Oh, I was ready to jump. Oh, duh. Okay. So these are just automatic jumps, I guess.
These are rats too. There you go, Jay.
Weaving.
Dip, dodge, dive, and dodge.
Where was the hiding when Hyoko was the beach house? Beach. Maybe it's the beach.
And you better design.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, too late, this.
This right?
Wrong.
It's all coming together.
How's that go?
That was cool.
It's neat, right?
Yeah. It's gonna get harder,
You
right?
think the killer might have been hiding?
You spent all that time thinking just to say something so pointless. How disappointing. Didn't I just say there was nowhere to hide? Do I have to explain it in another language so you can understand?
Her personality got a hell of a lot more forceful once she stopped being a suspect.
No, there should have been a place for them to hide. A place you didn't look, Hyoko.
Oh, what are you saying? Stop being annoying or I'm gonna make Akane bop you on the head and shut you up for good.
I don't want that to happen to me. I need to answer, but by any means. The place where the killer was hiding, the place where Hyoko wasn't looking.
It's a good one.
Here?
No.
They'd freeze. You're gonna climb a mountain made of ice? There's always fighting.
Crap!
A place where they weren't looking.
There's a something
Oh.
that, yeah.
Here!
You know where?
In the surfboard
Okay.
case.
Probably hiding in the closet.
The closet? That's where I was locked up!
After you woke up, you said you rushed out of there, right? And you probably didn't look inside the closet very carefully.
But could two people even hide in such a small place? And without Hyoko knowing?
That's why the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place.
If the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place in advance, I can only think of one place. That's right, the place where the killer was hiding inside the closet was...
She was hanging in the wetsuits. On the boogie.
Here!
The killer was a
What about the surfboard case in the closet? I'm pretty sure they could have hidden in there.
Huh? Inside the surfboard case?
But the shelf it was on, it was pretty messy, don't you think? 2 surfboards were stacked on the top shelf. And there were surfboards that weren't even in a case. The killer probably did that on purpose to secure a hiding place. 'Cause we haven't been on this island that long, so the closet shouldn't have been that messy, I think.
Then, the killer was close to me during that time?
Yeah, they were quietly holding their breath and hiding very close to you.
It's kind of like in for a penny, in for a pound, so to speak.
What?
Don't you mean it's always darkest under the lighthouse?
I shouldn't say things I don't understand, like, so to speak.
Anyway, the killer hid silently, and after making sure Hyoko left, they finally left the surfboard case.
I agree with that as well.
Seriously, nobody asked what you think.
There's no way the killer would leave Hiyoko by herself if they were trying to frame her. If Hiyoko was left alone and ruined the evidence the killer had planted, it would have messed up their plan. Instead, it makes more sense to think that the killer was hiding in the beach house, watching Hiyoko.
Saying whatever you want, even if you didn't ask. All right, if you don't want to friggin' get punched, just stand still and let me punch ya! Oh, you shut up. Then, grit your teeth.
Sorry, Akane. It's not like that. Hey, Monokuma. Can I ask you about something that seems strange to me?
I believe Prince Shotoku was from the future. A man from the future is always directing the flow of history.
I'll listen to your story about men from the future some other time. As I recall, the body discovery announcement is made when 3 or more people discover a body, right? Is the killer also included among those 3 or more people?
Yeah, that's true, but, well, something like that is basically what it's supposed to be.
You don't sound very articulate.
Jeez! You're pretty annoying for noticing something like that. I know it sounds like an excuse.
Yeah, I caught this like a long time ago.
The body discovery announcement isn't supposed to be used for deduction.
Wait. I know it sounds like an excuse, but the body discovery announcement isn't supposed to be used for deduction.
It's intended to create a fair trial. It's supposed to let everyone know a body has been found.
So you're saying it's unfortunate that I used it for deduction? I understand your excuse, but depending on who actually found the body, it's possible that your 3 or more people rule could be deadly.
Well, as long as I keep things ambiguous, I can respond to situations with some flexibility.
Flexibility, huh? So what about this time? Is it 3 people including the killer or not?
Jeez, fine. You want me to say it? It doesn't include the killer this time, okay? All done.
Which means 3 people other than the killer discovered Mahiru's body.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just thought it was somewhat strange. More importantly, let's get back to our original topic.
You're the one who went on a tangent.
We were just saying the killer was hiding in the surfboard case, right?
And after Hiyoko ran away, the killer got to enjoy the simple life of destroying evidence.
However, before we proceed any further, there's something we have to make clear. The killer blocked the roadside door with Mahiru's body before Hiyoko ran away. But what about the blood?
Now that you mention it, that mystery hasn't been solved yet.
It's going to be all right. If you guys have come this far, I'm sure you can discover that answer too. Now, let's start the argument, shall we?
Now then, I shall explain to you the final feature in the non-stop debate. From this point forward, you will now be able to use the truth flashback. If you hold down the shape rectangle, weak spots, you will be able to memorize it. This memorizing phase can be fired once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change to a different truth bullet, it will disappear from the truth cylinder. Yeah. Have the answer to a lie or mistake. If you're available truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use it to make your face. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to trust your keen wits, won't you? By the way, you will not be able to agree with anyone while you're using the truth flashback.
Okay.
Please remember that if you... Okay. So you can't agree with anybody using that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Shower room.
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right?
Yeah.
So washing it off would have been impossible.
They didn't have to use the shower.
Oh, what about the wetsuits in the closet? Maybe they wore one when they moved the body.
If they used something other than the shower...
What did they do with the bloody wetsuit?
They cut it up and floosh.
As someone who flushes their shit every morning, I can declare it would definitely clog the toilet.
Maybe it's the other way around? Perhaps someone other than the killer moved the body? Maybe they were able to wash it off.
If I use this person's opinion, I might be able to break through the contradiction.
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have been impossible.
They didn't have to use the shower.
That could have been it, right?
Yeah.
What about the wetsuits in the... Maybe they wore one when they moved them...
If they used something other...
What did they do with the bloody wet?
They cut it up and...
As someone who flushed, it would definitely clog.
Maybe it's the other... Perhaps someone other than... Maybe they were able to wash it off.
Okay.
What did the killer do with...
Maybe they simply...
They couldn't use the shower, so washing it off would have been impossible.
Oh, you jerk. Oh, you jerk. Double jerk.
Double.
What did the killer do with...
Maybe they
I'm
simply...
gonna
They
shoot down
couldn't
some.
use the shower, so washing it off would have been impossible.
They didn't have to use the...
what about the wetsuits in the closet? Maybe they wore one when they moved the body.
If they used something other than the shower...
What did
Oh,
they
come
do
on.
with the bloody wetsuit?
Oh, and you missed it.
As someone who flushed, it would definitely clog.
Perhaps someone other than the... Maybe they were able to wash it off.
Oh my god.
What did the killer do with...
Maybe they simply...
They couldn't use the shower, so washing it off would have been impossible.
They didn't have to...
What about the wetsuits in the... Maybe they wore one when they moved the body.
If they used something other than the shower...
Oh,
What did they
thank
do
you.
with
Oh.
They cut it up.
I didn't think I
Someone who
had it.
flushed, it would definitely clog.
Maybe it's the other...
No.
Perhaps someone other... Maybe they were able to wash it
No,
off.
no, I don't want to tell you which one. It's one with slow down time.
What did the killer
Don't do it
do with
'cause
the
it might
blood on
suck
their
it.
body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have been impossible.
No, that's wrong.
He gets R1.
They just
slow
needed
it
to
down.
wash off the blood. They didn't necessarily have to use the shower. They could have just as easily used something else.
Something other than the shower. Like what?
Something other than the shower was used. The drink
I see.
refrigerator.
Drinks inside the refrigerator. Couldn't the killer have used those to wash off the blood?
Sounds good.
I've seen through it.
Oh,
Nice cold.
In theory, that's impossible.
Why?
Try to remember the refrigerator carefully, and then you will understand that there's no possible way the drinks in the refrigerator were used.
why, Pecco? Are you the one that did it?
Pretty sure it's
The
It's true
empty
there were
bottles.
drinks in the beach house refrigerator.
come on.
However, try one bottle drink, it wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
Gonna Pecco's voice is threatening. He might cut me.
It's true there were drinks in the beach house refrigerator. However, try one bottle drink, it wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
There we go. God, I didn't know.
It's true there were in the beach house refrigerator. However, try think one bottle, it wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
there you go.
Okay.
We can't assume they used just one drink. They could have used a bunch of them to wash it off.
Didn't I say it was impossible? There were no water bottles. There were only flavored drinks with colored. If you use those to wash, the blood won't come off in your body. They will leave an aromatic smell, especially if you use the water. That alone would raise suspicion. Didn't I say it was impossible? There were no water bottles in the refrigerator.
Allow me to cut through those words! There were water bottles inside the refrigerator.
How many times do I have to tell you? There were no water bottles in there whatsoever.
That was after the incident, right? But before the incident, there were water bottles in the fridge. And the killer took all of those water bottles and used them to wash the blood off their body.
So you're saying the water bottles were gone? Because they were all used? That's a logical fallacy.
It's not a fallacy. There should have been evidence inside the trash can. Evidence like a lot of thrown away plastic water bottles. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Ah, you're right. These bottles look like they may have been filled with water.
Well, now that you mention it, when I went to the beach house a few days ago, I feel like I drank one of those plastic water bottles.
Huh? You should have said so sooner.
Then, the plastic water bottles were used in place of a shower.
Dousing your body with lots of water bottles is such a simple and easy to understand explanation.
Hold on a sec. Now that I think about it, if they soaked their entire body with a bunch of water bottles, if they did that, that person would be...
Seems you've realized who the killer is.
Huh?
See? Just as I thought.
Hold on. You know who the killer is?
Is that true?
Let me ask, who might that be?
If the killer used plastic water bottles to wash off the blood that spattered onto them, the killer probably must be that person. Are they gonna make me pick Peko?
Ooh, I like look how it looks, you know, or like move to a different person. That effect.
Oh, that effect, yeah.
That's dope.
You're the only one!
I don't think it was Peko.
Peko. Is it you?
Hey, what are you being quiet for? They're accusing you of being the killer.
Then I should ask you this. Why do you believe I'm the killer?
I remember when we were all meeting up to go to the beach. Your appearance when you came to the diner.
You were hot.
Yeah.
Why are you?
Hey,
aren't you really good? I just did a little something.
If the killer really did wash the blood off with water bottles, they'd have to drench their entire body. But there were no towels in the beach house, and it would have taken a while for the water to fully air dry. So you said you went swimming so you'd have a cover story.
Don't just stay silent! Say something! Hold on, you bastard! You saw her at the diner! You never saw her near the beach house, right? So maybe she really was swimming!
No one even saw her swimming.
No. I saw her.
Huh?
After I ran into you bastards at the diner, I crossed paths with her on my way home. So there's no doubt. She would have arrived at the diner from the opposite direction of the beach house.
Hold on. That's strange. Didn't you just say this earlier?
Alright. This is a coincidence that they passed by the diner. I didn't even pay attention to the beach house. I went straight back to the hotel after I saw you guys. I didn't see anyone doing during that time.
You told me you didn't see anyone. Don't try to tell me you forgot about that.
Not so fast! It's too soon to decide she's a killer! We haven't established how the killer was able to leave the beach house!
Now that you mention it, you're right.
The roadside door was blocked. And if it's impossible to leave from the beachside without leaving footprints, then how the fuck did the killer escape?
Why are you all fired up, Fuyuhiko? You're not the suspect. Peko is.
Who cares about that? Answer me! If you have an explanation, then show me what you got!
We might have an answer.
Huh?
Do you really? This mystery seems unsolved.
Well, if Peko is the killer, then I might just have an answer to that mystery.
I see. Then let's hear this alleged method of escaping the beach house.
First, let's establish how the killer escaped.
The killer's escape route, I might know what it was. In fact, the only possible thing to think of was the small window.
I see!
If the roadside and beachside doors aren't an option, the only other thing I can think of is...
But it's too high.
Nothing really. Except that small window in the shower room.
Huh. Don't you know how high that window is? There's no way Peko could have reached it.
But what if, for instance, she got help from someone?
She might have reached it by riding someone's shoulders, but then that person would have been left behind.
Is it possible an object was used? A rope, for instance?
And what happened to the rope after they used it? And don't say something stupid like they threw it outside.
Of course not! That would violate the school trip rule!
Littering is not allowed. That exposes the island's bountiful nature.
Littering is prohibited. Even if it might be evidence, rules are still rules.
You see? There's no way they'd be able to escape from that window.
No, they just have to use an object.
Chiaki, don't fall asleep on us! We just said they couldn't use an object!
You did? I thought you were saying they couldn't dispose of an object.
I see! You don't have to throw it away if you can just hide it somewhere on your body. Huh? Pekka was wearing a swimsuit, remember? Where would she even hide an object? And if you say she hid it in her special place, I'll stab you in yours!
Jesus.
Please don't be violent!
Nagato? Just smiling.
If the killer used an object to escape out the window, they wouldn't have been able to get rid of it. So the only thing I could think of is that the killer must have hid it somewhere. In my case, focus and think the object the killer used to escape out the window. Hey, there we go. I have no idea what it is. I'm sure it isn't. Okay, B. Bamboo. I guess I could have used that. Man. Oops.
Okay.
Oops. That was wrong. There we go.
Oof, I'm getting big.
Bamboo sword, right? Oh man.
Oh god.
Sword. With the O?
The S word.
That takes off health, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit, what am I doing? Is it with the O? Stupid. Oh, it's R. I'm stupid. There we go. There we go. I got a D. Oh.
Just put X, isn't it? Get rid of it.
Yeah, well, it tries to use it.
I got it!
Bamboo sword.
It seems kind of hard to get out with
You
just
carry
your
that
bamboo sword.
sword on your back at all times, right? If I recall correctly, you had it then too.
It was wet too.
Despite the fact that you had a swimsuit on, you were still wearing your bamboo sword.
That's a sword.
Are you saying she used that bamboo sword to escape through the window?
Yeah. Heko used that bamboo sword as a step stool and escaped out the window.
Sword as a step stool?
You see? I knew it! I knew it was a ninja! Didn't I tell ya? A ninja could have climbed that easily! Ninjas know a climbing trick where they lean their sword against a wall and use the handguard as a step stool.
Wow! Just like a Japanese ninja!
Miss Sonia, ninjas only exist in Japan.
Well, it is a bamboo sword, but I'm sure a slender girl like Peko could easily use it to climb.
Well, Peko, do you have anything to say?
Now then, the time has come to once again Panic Talk action. Let's talk a little bit about Fever Time and Nega Time. From this point on, you will be able to use Fever Time by pressing the R1 button during PTA. When Fever Time is activated, tempo will... Okay. But that's not all, you won't miss during Fever Time either. By pressing the X button, when applicable, you can destroy your opponent's verbal assaults. But only until your focus stages run out, so make sure the best possible. Of course, you're not the only one who can get the upper hand. Something called Nega Time your opponent can use too. If your opponent activates Nega Time, the tempo meter will disappear, making it quite a bit difficult to press the buttons in rhythm. So in that case, please time the rhythm not with your eyes, but with your ears and your passionate heart. If you can't clear it, you can always change the difficulty setting. I'm not going to tell them that redo the class trial for that chapter if you do that.
Hold on a sec, you bastard!
Whoa.
You're saying she used her sword as a step stool and went out the fucking window? Then what about the sword?
God,
It would have been left
he's
in
so
the
good.
shower room and she wouldn't have been able to recover it, dumbass!
Fuyuhiko, why do you even care?
Shut up! Just shut the fuck up and answer me! If you have an answer, then fucking give it to me! If she used the bamboo sword as a step stool, it would have been left
He's a good voice
behind!
actor.
Yeah.
What's his name? He's in all
Rico,
stuff.
why? Why are you... I didn't think it was going to be with him.
Got proof, you bastard? That's obviously impossible! Shut up!
It's just
Shut
X,
up!
right?
Shut up! Don't fuck with me! Got proof, you bastard? Shut up! Shut up! Don't fuck with me! Got proof, you bastard? That's obviously impossible! Bastard!
I didn't know it went faster.
Got proof, you bastard? I'll sell your fucking organs! You're pissing me off! You're pissing me off! Bastard! Shut up! Shut up! Got proof, you bastard? That's obviously impossible! Shut up! Shut up! Don't fuck with me! If she used the bamboo sword as a step stool, it would have been left behind!
This is the end! If she used her bamboo sword as a step stool, she could have recovered it with her sword bag. When she leaned her sword against the wall to use as a step stool, she tied her sword bag to it. And after she climbed up to the window, as long as
It's
she
so
hauled the
cool.
bag up to
Yeah.
her, she would have been able to recover her bamboo sword.
Okay, what about the mask then?
I see. Not just the bamboo sword, but even the sword bag, too. She used them both to escape. Akane said she's like a ninja, but it's nothing as silly as that. Simply put, only Peko could have performed this feat. An escape plan befitting of the ultimate swordswoman. Even so, how disappointing. If you'd only let me work with you, it would have been an even greater plan.
Oh, you just back off!
Is it true? You killed
Hold on! You're just making assumptions! You don't have any proof. I won't accept this unless there's proof! got it, you bastard!
It's fine.
Huh?
I said it's fine. Saying anything more would just be an exercise in futility.
She admitted it just now, right? She's admitting she's Maharu's killer, right? But is this right? Even though Fuyuhiko was the one arguing with us, Peko just admitted it so
Among
freely.
flowers, the cherry blossom. Among men, the samurai. I commend your decisiveness, at least. Very well. If you admit it, this ends now. Let's cast our votes.
Agreed. Hurry up and vote.
Hold on. Let me confirm one thing first.
Can it wait until after the voting?
This is important, and it relates to the voting. It's about Peko's motive.
My motive?
In the end, you had no connection to the events depicted in Twilight Syndrome murder case, right? Then, why did you kill Mahiru?
So it's about that. Let's see. If I must answer that question, I must say it was for the sake of justice.
Justice?
In order to protect the justice of this world.
Oh, is she going crazy?
I do not sully my hands to satisfy personal grudges. There is only one reason I kill. For the sake of protecting justice.
Okay, so she's signing or whatever.
What are you saying?
Justice is what makes humans human. It's a virtue that human beings should be proud of. Justice is the eternal sun.
I love that.
And the enduring moon.
Like it's 3D, but it's still
the
really
protective
quiet.
fire,
Yeah.
And the smiling
It's so
night.
charming.
Hello! Earth to Peko!
It's great design, actually.
If justice ever disappeared from this world, the world would immediately freeze, and people's smiles would vanish. I will not allow that.
It's fine, just stop it!
Justice must always be there to guide us, to shine bright above our heads.
I'm telling you to stop it!
So I must fight. I must continue to fight to protect justice.
This is... Could she be...
As the light of justice shines upon my mask, I expose the hearts of malevolent evil.
That's sick.
Justice complete.
What the hell?
The center of justice that is pierced by justice.
Oh,
The
don't cut
lit
out
star of
the eyes.
justice that shines in the night sky. That would be me. Sparkling justice.
It has the.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Now then, let's execute justice.
What? What the fuck?
Peko, what are you doing?
I am sparkling justice. In the name of sparkling, shining justice, I have come to deliver justice.
What is that supposed to mean?
No idea.
What's going on? What's this? Chill.
Peko finally snapped!
Everyone, please be careful. Sparkling Justice is a serial killer who claims to be an ally of justice. Clad in her various hero masks, she is a serial killer who exclusively targets other criminals. She is supposed to be... but... Huh?
Ally of justice? So that's why you're wearing a mask. This mask is the dividing line. Just like various idols, the sun is revered because it lies just beyond your grasp. Justice should also be the same.
I don't get it, but this is becoming really crazy.
What? What the heck is this? Peko is the killer? Why is it turning out like this?
This is turning out to be a surprising turn of events.
Hey.
Hey! Now's not the time for you to be sleeping. Take a look. It's a killer.
This again?
Huh? Sleep talking?
So what's your answer to my previous question? Why did you kill Mahiru?
This world must always be bathed in the light of justice. I must not allow even one shadow. Evil must be eliminated immediately. No matter what, I must not overlook evil.
Evil? Are you saying Mahiru is...
If you knew about that incident, then you must have played the game. Am I right?
And because of that, I was able to find the killer's accomplice hiding on this island like a sewer rat.
Then, the reason you killed Mahiru was...
To protect justice, of course. In order to protect justice, I have become its merciless sword. And executed justice.
Why wouldn't you use your bamboo sword?
Holy
Why would you use a
crap!
bat?
She's such a stereotypical psychopath!
How do you kill anybody with a bamboo sword?
She's so gross!
Echo, is this your true identity?
My true identity? I have already forgotten who I am. It just shows my determination. My determination to protect by throwing away what's most important. I'm willing to become anybody to shower this world with justice.
Faces.
I know.
Oh, I can't stand this anymore! Let's just end this farce already!
End it. He's right. We need to end this already. The killer is, in the end, there's no mistake that it was Pekko all along.
Let's go over this incident one more time and then let's end this.
All right. Okay, let's see.
None of those.
Yeah.
None of those.
Okay, that was already used. What's this? The killer takes the bamboo sword out of the sword.
I mean, it's the first one.
Bam.
Right, you don't want to use the bamboo sword because then if it's broken...
Oh, yeah. Or if you got blood on it.
Go back.
This. Hey.
And the other one's the other way.
Oh, she woke up, right?
She woke up. So it's either that bottom one or the top one. No, so it's the top one. I think that one, the bottom one right there is to get them getting in the bag.
Yeah, okay. Water bottles.
That one's up.
This one's up here.
Right there. That one is. This one's good. And that was when I was just talking about them getting in the bag. No. See, that one doesn't. That one's not anywhere. That one is that right there.
That
see
one?
it?
Yeah, that one's that one.
So that
This
is
one's
the bag.
It's the bag, right?
Yeah. So keep going.
Put it where?
Keep going. Right there. Gummy one goes after.
Probably here, right?
Okay. The footsteps of that one.
Oh yeah. You're right. Oh. Hey everybody.
Hey. Oh, we didn't win that.
This one. Oh, we got a few more.
Read
Seems Yoko made a promise with someone. Oh.
Yes. That's the letters. God, I love this.
And then this one is...
You gotta visit the beach.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
There you go.
The incident began this morning when Mahiru spoke to Hyoko. Mahiru most likely played Twilight Syndrome Murder Case, the video game provided to us as the motive. She probably wanted to discuss it with someone else who also appeared in the game as a character. Hyoko accepted Mahiru's invitation, and they promised to have a more detailed conversation about it later. However, someone else overheard their exchange. The killer. The killer eavesdropped on their conversation and used their promise to devise a specific murder plan. By preparing a specific item, they planned to manipulate the two's actions. That item was the letters. They sent fake letters to both Mahiru and Hyoko. The letter Mahiru received told her to come to the beach house at 2:30 p.m. And the letter Hyoko received told her to come to the beach house at exactly 2 p.m. By providing different times, the killer was able to lure them to the beach house separately. Hyoko totally trusted that letter, showed up at the beach house at 2 p.m., just like it said, and was drugged into unconsciousness by the killer lying in wait.
I hear that's actually not good for you.
Yeah.
You can burn your face.
After putting Hyoko to sleep, the killer immediately hid her inside the closet, so they could frame her as the killer later. At 2:30 p.m., Mahiru arrived at the beach house. She was completely unaware that she'd been targeted for murder. Approaching her from behind, the killer struck the defenseless Mahiru with a specific weapon, the metal bat that was left at the scene of the crime. The bat was brought down onto the back of Mahiru's head, and with that, she took her last breath. According to Mikan's autopsy, Mahiru died instantly, so she probably never knew who killed her. With that, the killer achieved their goal of killing Mahiru and began to tamper with the crime scene. They dragged Mahiru's body so that it blocked the door leading to the road. Also, the mask found at the scene of the crime was something the killer personally left.
We have to.
I'm not really sure why. My guess is it's something similar to a calling card. That's how the crime scene we discovered was created. However, by moving Mahiru's body, the killer got blood splatter on them. Plus, the shower room had no water because it was out of order, so they couldn't wash it off. But the killer expected something like that to happen. Instead of the shower, the killer used something else to wash the blood off their body. They used plastic water bottles that were inside the beach house refrigerator. We can assume they carried the bottles to the shower room before the sequence of events had happened. In place of showering, they washed the blood off their body with water bottles instead. However, they had no choice but to dispose of the empty bottles in the beach house's trash can. Littering is against the rules, and it would have taken too much time to throw them away somewhere else. After the killer washed off the blood, they hid in a specific spot inside the closet Hyoko was in. The killer hid inside the surfboard case that they had already emptied beforehand. After some time had passed, the sleeping drug used on Hyoko wore off, and she woke up. I can imagine how badly Hyoko must have panicked when she came out of the closet. I mean, she made plans to see Mahiru, who lay dead right in front of her. From the shock and panic of being considered a murder suspect, Hiyoko fled from the beach house. Because of that, she left footprints in the sand. Everything was a trap set by the killer to frame her. After Hiyoko left, the killer finally came out of the surfboard case.
This is like
and
so
placed
much
a gun
left.
that they brought with them to shift our suspicion toward Hiyoko. Ironically, placing that gun
How you
with
feel
them
about
helped
this, Jay?
clear our suspicion toward Hiyoko.
We still
Wow.
haven't
The killer
established
began
who the
preparing to
third
escape
person
from the
was that
beach
saw Miharu before the announcement was
They
made.
couldn't risk leaving their footprints in the sand, so they escaped the beach house using a different route. The small window in the shower room. However, that window is rather high up and can't be reached easily, which is why the killer used the bamboo sword they always carry with them. The killer took the bamboo sword out of its bag, tied the bag to the sword's handle, and used the sword as a step stool to reach the small window while holding the sword bag in their hand. As long as they're able to reach the window, all they had to do was pull the bag to retrieve the sword. And so the killer left the beach house and appeared before us as if nothing had happened. But their wet hair and swimsuit didn't dry right away. There also weren't any towels at the beach house. So when the killer met up with us, they said they had been swimming for a while as an excuse. So how about it? This is the truth behind the incident you caused. Isn't that right, Heko Hekoyama?